Hey guys, it's Tessa. So today, I'm so excited for today's project, or this week's project I guess I should say. I am recreating a blanket that I have only seen once. Long story short, my grandmother on my dad's side was also a crocheter. I never got to meet her. She passed away when my dad was 20, I think. So all he had was this blanket that I've only seen one time, and I can't remember 100%. But it was basically this like Chevron style 70s colorway blanket. I have created 2 swatches, and I think one of them is correct, at least with the colors. So you have swatch 1, which doesn't look too bad. This yellow yarn is just too shiny for the rest of it. Even if it wasn't so shiny, it's not correct. It's just not the correct shade. However, this is the second swatch, and I think this is correct. I think it's correct. This brings me a lot of joy because I love crocheting. Again, I never got to meet my grandmother, so feeling some way close to her is kind of nice. But basically, I'm going to use these 4 colors, a dark red, cream, a dark brown, and this orangey color to create a throw size Chevron 70s blanket. I'm so excited to make this. I haven't made like just a normal throw blanket in a long time. Like I know the last blanket I filmed making was that blanket for my husband, the really soft fluffy one, but I haven't made just a normal like worsted weight blanket in a really long time. But I have all the colors ready. I have brown and cream from Big Twist. I guess also this one's Big Twist. This is Wine by Big Twist as well. And then the orange I'm using is the Pound of Love Pumpkin Spice. Okay. Slight problem. So I got through the first 5 rows of the blanket. It's looking great, stitching is looking great and all that. It's just not wide enough. Like, I think I actually want to make this closer to like 5 feet by 6 feet. Currently it's measuring just under 3 feet, so something is wrong with my gauging, which I'm never good at gauge swatches, ever. But, yeah, so it's currently measuring about 3 feet. I'm gonna rip it all out, and I'm going to try to add, I think, 2 full repeats, see if that changes anything. Or it will change anything, see if it's wide enough at that point. Or I just might chain like 250 and go from there. I don't really know. It's a little frustrating just because I thought I was doing it right, but I think part of it is I didn't factor in the width change. So like with the V, this takes out some of the length. If I hold it completely straight, it's still the correct length. But because it's making the V shape, it takes a little bit of the total length away. And I just didn't factor that in when I was initially doing my numbers. But yeah, so that's what I am gonna do. And I will check back in. You can tell I got through the first set of the orange and the brown. I did do a couple rows of the tan color. Then I realized I didn't like the pattern. So again, here's a little tiny baby swatch. I think it would make more sense to flip the red and the white, or the cream color. I think the red touching the orange is not going to look correct in my mind. And then I also think I like the idea of the 2 lighter tones will be touching and the 2 darker tones will be touching. It's all showing up a little bit brighter on camera than it really is. But I think that'll look best. And the more I think about it, I think that just looks vaguely how I remember. But so I'm going to try tonight to get through all the red, redo the cream, and then start on the orange if I can. It's only about 6 p.m. so I should be able to get through that, hopefully. I have finished the first repeat. I'm starting the first row of the orange for the second repeat. I'm really tired tonight, so if I don't make any sense, I'm just going to refilm this in the morning. But basically, I have been tying in the ends or working with the ends. So all of them will appear on one side. And at the end, I'm going to do all the final weaving and such. Overall, I think the pattern's nice. I think it looks good. I kind of like the 2 dark tones together, 2 light tones together, and so on. I think it works really nicely. I think my plan is to finish this row and then probably go to bed. It's the day before Thanksgiving, and I have to be up at 6:30 in the morning. And that just sounds awful. But yeah, so that's where we're at so far. This is currently how we're looking on the yarn stash. I'm gonna weigh this cream color to see how much each section takes or uses, because then I can use that as a point of reference for how much of this yarn is going to be used in the end anyway, and go from there. Alright, I'm currently on the second repeat still, and I did the math, and I will not have enough of the brown yarn to do... I will not have enough of the brown yarn. I will not have enough... I can kill you. I do not have enough of the brown yarn to do 4 repeats of the pattern. It takes about 84 grams per section of the pattern. Each thing of the big twist I think has like 170-ish, so I'm really cutting it close to begin with, but yeah, so I can get 3 repeats out in total because I started with the brown having I think probably like a third missing from one of the skeins and the other one's a full skein. I think I can get away with doing 3 though, 3 full repeats. If that's the case, then it'll just be more of a lap blanket, and it should equal out to about, 48 inches. Do not care at this point.
No,
not anymore. Gonna leave that there for a minute. I just need like 2 seconds, okay? Alright, I just need, you don't need to put it in the frame with me. Can I finish? I'm so close to being done.
Finish.
Cool. Like I was saying, I should be able to get away with 3 full repeats instead of 4. It'll be about like 48 inches at that point. But yeah, so that's our check-in for right now. I'm gonna try to get through, I think, the rest of this repeat, so finish up the 2 more rows of brown I have, do the full red and do the full of the cream, and hopefully start on the orange again tonight as well. It's only about 5 p.m. so I should be able to get through all of that. As you guys have seen a few times, the Gibosaurus Rex, been a menace. But yeah, so that's it for tonight. See you soon. So I think I checked in last night, but I don't really remember. I also changed the setting on my camera, I think, so I think this video's quality is a little bit different. I don't know. Anyway, I meant to check in last night, but I got through the second repeat. It's already measuring a little bit larger than I originally anticipated. I think originally it was supposed to be about 16 inches per repeat. I think we're measuring closer to 18. Let me double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's kind of where we're measuring at, which is fine, I don't mind that. My only concern at the moment is, oh my gosh. My only concern at the moment is I don't think I have enough brown yarn to do a 3rd repeat, which is really unfortunate, but I'm gonna weigh it out here in a second and we'll hopefully do math and find out if I'll have enough. But yeah, so we are measuring at roughly 18 to 19 inches per repeat. So if I can get through a 3rd repeat, that'll put us closer to 54 inches. I believe the width of this blanket is also a little bit larger than originally anticipated for. The blanket's currently measuring at just under 5 feet wide, so about 60 inches. Each repeat is roughly 18 to 19 inches. If I can get through 3 repeats, it'll be about 54 inches by 60, which is fine. Ideally, I'd like to do those 4 repeats instead of 3, but I don't have any more brown yarn, and I don't have any more brown yarn of the same dye lot, which is like a secondary problem. But like I said, I finished the second repeat and started the orange of the third repeat. Let's weigh out the brown yarn and see how much I have left. If I remember correctly, I need roughly 84 grams. Also, I use grams when it comes to weighing things like yarn because I feel like it's a little bit more accurate than ounces, or I know it's a little bit more accurate than ounces. It's just easier for me to keep track of. So this guy will definitely have enough. This guy is about 106 grams, and I think I need like 84 or something like that, 84 or 87, maybe even 90, I can't really remember. But if it's at 106 currently, it means I should have at least roughly 10 to 15 yards left, which is really nice, which means I'll have enough for that third repeat. I figured worst case scenario, I'll just have the brown row have 7 rows, and then the cream or the red will have 9, because they're similar in their tones. So, and then so far on this project, we have finished 3 total skeins. I believe all of these started at full skeins, or just about full, except for the brown. Again, I think for the brown I used like 30-ish yards of it for one of the hoods that I currently have available. I'm excited to see how much yarn I have left in the end. I don't think I'm going to do a border on this blanket. I don't know if I mentioned that at all previously. But I know for a lot of blankets, you do borders. I'm not doing one for this blanket. I also realized something last night, which was really annoying but also pleasing to realize. There are 2 blankets my grandmother made that my mom has. One of them matches the one I'm making, but I very strongly remember and can like visualize this other blanket that is similar colors, but it's a dark green, a dark red, a dark brown, and like a mustard color. And I think what was happening originally when I showed you those first swatches is that I was combining the blankets in my head, and that's what the problem was and why they didn't look right. Because when I kind of draw out or visualize the secondary blanket, I know that that one's correct. And I can feel it right, like it feels right. And this one feels right as well, and that's why I think that problem kind of occurred. So there may or may not be another video in the future where I am making another blanket like this. That is the check-in for tonight. Like I said, finishing it this week if I can. I'm gonna try to get through like half of the orange tonight. It's currently 9 p.m. and I doubt I'll get that far, but it should be fine. I'll check in again soon. Okay, so technically I finished the blanket, but I am doing one final set of 8 rows in the orange so that I can, have the blanket in either direction and the pattern still works. Plus I really like the orange and I've still got a ton of it left. So tomorrow night, because it's 10 p.m. now, tomorrow night I will be finishing this blanket and you will see it finished. Alright, so I finally finished the blanket in all its glory. I ended up doing an extra set of the orange row, or the orange repeat, just because I thought it looked a little more finished that way. But we were able to get through a total of 3 repeats of the pattern. It's probably roughly just about 5 feet-ish. 5 feet long, about 5 feet wide as well, roughly, if I remember correctly. But we were able to get through 3 full repeats. I didn't end up running out of any colors or anything, which is nice. But it is done. All the ends are weaved in. If I have learned anything from this experience, is that I do not like making blankets / blankets this large or this wide. I really just can't stand it. This just took so many weeks to finish. I think in total, probably like 2 months almost. I think I started it roughly in October and it's now mid-December-ish. So that's crazy. I'll probably make a blanket again, honestly. I like making blankets. I just don't like having deadlines when it comes to blankets because that typically makes me not want to make the blanket. Or what it'll do sometimes is just make me feel a little more overwhelmed than I feel like I should be. If I give myself tight deadlines, at least with these large projects, is typically where I have this problem. The larger the project, the more likely I'm gonna get stressed out if I give myself a tight deadline for it. I kind of gave myself a tight deadline for this one, so I kept like every night for the last like 2 weeks till about 10 p.m. I've been working on it, or 10:30 sometimes as late. But it's done, ends are weaved in, it looks great, I really like it. It's going straight under bed, and I'm probably going to bed shortly after. But yeah, only thing I would really change on this guy is, one, the width. I'd take probably like 5-6 inches off it. But if the width had to stay the same and all of that, only thing I would really change is the way I did the repeats. I think what I should have done, I think I did it currently as 15 stitch repeats, but I should have done it as 30 stitch repeats, because 30 stitches makes the point with the 2 decreases on either side, or makes it with the decrease on that side. However, because I did this as a 15 stitch repeat, this side is a perfect, is a up, down, while this side is a up, down, up. So it just makes it a little not symmetrical when it comes to like folding it up and all of that, but realistically, I don't really care about that. I'm just glad it's done. I used all of the brown, I used all of the brown. I have about half a skein left of the red and the white, and I have probably a 1/4 skein left of the orange. I'm actually a little bit wrong, because we have this much of the orange left, and that's nothing. And then we have closer to about half of each skein left, a little bit less of the red than we do the cream, but still. I think I ended up using a total of 4 skeins in total for all this. That's not including these 2 and the orange. In theory, that is technically closer to 7 skeins, but of the ones I've completely used, it's 4. But that is it for this video. If you have any questions or recommendations on making blankets, I would appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.